Oh my gosh. I don't even remember what the question was. Hello and welcome to my 50,000 follower episode of Hot Ones, or Spin on Hot Ones. I unfortunately do not have anyone interviewing me due to scheduling issues, and I'm doing this in the middle of the day. But I do have questions that you have all submitted, so I am very excited. I don't want to kill much time with the intro, so we're just going to dive in. We're going to start with Mr. Burns Tundrapocalpyse Barbecue. Mr. Burns is a local guy that makes hot sauces. Really, really cool products. I'm a big fan of his. So let's get going. So the first question I have is from the Northern Nerd. Great Wisconsin person. Great page. If you don't follow him on Facebook already, go check him out. If you could go back in time and change any heartbreaking loss, which one would it be and why? Great question, Dalton. I appreciate it. So we have Tundrapocalpyse Barbecue. And my hope is, I'm probably optimistic, my hope is to eat the whole wing on every one. We'll see. So, to answer Dalton's question, if I could change any heartbreaking loss, which would it be? I think a lot of fans would default to changing the NFC Championship game in 2014 season. While that one definitely stings, I think it would be hard to reverse that one because I don't know what the next game would hold. So if I am honest with myself, I would probably change the outcome of Super Bowl 32. I remember young me being upset, very upset when we lost that game. I felt like we should have beat them. Obviously, they felt like they should. All Packer fans feel like they should have beat the Broncos, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And I forgot that I was planning on doing a little bit of sauce pour on each one, because there's going to be skeptics on the internet that are like, "Oh, he's not actually eating different sauces. He just got Legend Larry's honey barbecue, and that's what we're eating." So nope, I'm going to pour a little bit on each one. I coated each one individually. Some of them are a nightmare. And then the last one, I'll explain what it is when we get there, because I only have 10 sauces. Next question is from Jason. Jason asks, what is the one experience or tradition you most look forward to sharing with your children? Get a little bit on there. This one's a little bit runnier, so I'm not trying to go too crazy here. So what experience am I looking forward to sharing with my children? My wife and I just took our son to family night for the first time, which was extremely cool to bring him into Lambeau Field. It was really, I don't know, it's like a kind of an emotional moment as I walked into the bowl with my son, just, thinking about all these moments that we're gonna have together as he grows older and all the fun things we're gonna be able to do. Obviously, the Packers are a big part of my life, and I'm really excited to kind of bring up my son in that same world and do a lot of those really fun things, whether it's training camp and getting him to ride bikes, that player interaction, going to autograph signings, all the things that I loved as a kid that maybe I didn't get to do because I wasn't living in Green Bay at the time, and that my dad and brother are big Viking fans, so I wasn't doing a lot of Packers related events. I had Packers stuff, and I cheered for the Packers, and I loved watching the Packers. I love watching football, but I didn't get to experience those like Packer themed events like training camp and family night and games. So I'm really excited to be able to take my son or other children that I have down the way to those things. So if I had to limit it to just one, I'm gonna say games, like as he gets older, because games are those memories are just like what lasts with you. There are so many games that I've been to that I feel like I can vividly still remember, even though it happened years ago. That's right away, that's the thing I'm like super excited about, is to be able to take them to football games. So great question, Jason. Thank you for that. I gotta grab a question here. Putting a little bit on. This one's always a pain to come out, but And my son was nice enough to give me a little bit of a head cold. So I definitely am gonna get a runny nose. It's gonna clear up my sinuses, which I greatly needed. All right, this is from Tim. Tim says, if you had to live any place besides Green Bay, where would you choose? So, Tabasco scorpion sauce going in. Ooh, I swallowed that wrong. Not a good start. If I had to live anywhere other than Green Bay, where would it be? Great question, Tim. So if I had to live anywhere, I think I would choose Pittsburgh. We have some good friends that live in Pittsburgh, and I don't know, out of our trips that we've taken there, I've really fallen in love with the city. It feels very much like Green Bay in a lot of ways, where the people are so invested in the sports. I don't know, they just feel like very blue collar people, much like Green Bay. They have a lot of really nice restaurants. Permane Brothers I love. That's a big wing lover. I love Big Shot Bob's out there. So I would have to choose Pittsburgh. It's just such a great city. And if I wasn't so rooted in Green Bay and didn't love the Packers so much, I'd probably be there now. I really enjoyed this one. He just told me about it when I was at the farmer's market. He just came out with it. I love ghost pepper stuff. I love the burn that it brings to like burritos and stuff. So I definitely had to scoop up this one. But man, ghost peppers, they seem to hit my palate just like way harder than a lot of other peppers. So let's get a question here. What is one thing you'd like to see changed or improved on at Lambeau? That's from my good friend Dakota. What would I like to see changed or improved on at Lambeau? You know, I think the more games I go to, the more frustrated I get with like the fan experience. I'm obviously sympathetic that a lot of maybe a lot of older fans aren't able to like get up and down as much, but it's super frustrating to go to games and it's a big moment in the game and you're standing up and cheering and you're hearing someone behind you yell down in front or sit down. I have like a theory that I think like the experience or that home field advantage that the Packers had throughout the 90s is gone now. Not because anything changed like weather-wise or anything like that. I think it's just like fans just aren't as passionate about it anymore, in the sense of they don't expect to have to go there and be loud and be in the game. Now it feels like fans just like, oh, I'm gonna go there, sit there, and I expect them to win without like getting into the game. So that's what I would change. I feel like if I could change that, that's what I would do. I don't know what that takes. I'm not looking to like kick out older fans or anything like that, but I think there needs to be an understanding that when defense is on the field and it's like critical games, like you got to be up and be loud, and that's what you signed up for by going. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. There are seats in the stadium that you can get where you sit all the time, and that's cool. But I think it hinders the team a lot by just letting people just sit there and be grumpy all day. And just sit there and watch it like they're watching it in their living room. My 2 cents, probably a pretty controversial take, but Mr. Burns' unicorn tears. Hopefully it doesn't make me cry, Mr. Burns. Another runny one. Which season of the Packers is most similar to your parenting journey thus far? And that is from Maddie. Ooh. It's a tough one, Maddie. Let's see. Give me some time to mull over here. As far as my parenting journey, I'm gonna say the 2011 Packers, because the journey's been extremely exciting. It's been so much fun. It's been very difficult at times, much like the defense for the 2011 Packers. You know, I feel like we're never gonna really, right now it feels like we're never getting ahead. Every night it's kind of like the same routine. We try to pick up the living room and we try to like get everything cleaned up just for it to get destroyed the next day. Sleep is still a little weird. So I feel like that's kind of where I do think the journey so far to parenting is more rewarding than the end of the 2011 season. But if I had to make a comparison, that would be it. So, I forgot what I'm doing here. All right, Scary Larry. All right, when was your first visit to Lambeau and what do you remember about it? And that's from Chad. Really good question. I like that one. So the first time I went to Lambeau Field was in 2009. It was with my friend Tom, who is a big Packers fan as well. Him and I were working together at Arby's, so we became really good friends. And still a really good friend to this day. But it was the Packers 49ers game, November 22nd, 2009. What was pretty interesting about that is like the excitement we had going into the game. We had really good seats. I think it was like 40-yard line, row 50 or 40 or something like that. Perfect to see everything. Tom and I spent a lot of time at the Hall of Fame in Lambeau Field the night before. We bought our game day brochures. We went through the pro shop, all that fun stuff. And then the next day when we went to the game, we're in the atrium early and we saw Mark Murphy, which I thought was like the craziest thing. So I ended up winning a raffle thing before the game, which was really cool. And then the game was a really great game. The Packers and 49ers went back and forth. The Packers ended up ultimately winning. However, that game was the game that Al Harris and Campman both had season-ending injuries and ultimately career-altering injuries. Neither player really came back to what they were before. Now, both players were a little bit older, but so like the running joke for Tom and I for the longest time was like, if we go to another game and two of our favorite players get career-altering injuries, we can't talk anymore. We can't be friends. But thankfully that didn't happen. We've been to games together since, but that was a lot of fun, and really that kind of ignited my love for Lambeau Field even more, my love for Green Bay even more. I do remember, I hope Tom doesn't mind sharing this, I remember when we were leaving the parking lot to go home, and these guys were like drunk tailgating and they had pizza, and they're like, we had the windows down. It was a really nice fall day. It was like 50 degrees. We had the windows down, and these guys have this pizza box. They have it open and they like throw it in our window, and they're like, "You guys want a slice of pizza?" And I'm like, I don't know where the hell this pizza's been. I'm not having it. So I'm like, no, I'm good. And Tom like grabs a slice and is crushing that on the way back. But just the hospitality of people in Green Bay and people tailgating, and yeah, it was such a good moment. And I still remember it pretty vividly, like we just did it yesterday. Once again, a runnier sauce from Legend Larry's, so I'm going to try to be careful with this so it doesn't go everywhere. This is my go-to from Legend Larry's. I love the heat that Legend Larry's brings on their sauce, but it still really has great flavor, which is really hard to do. It's easy to make something hot with no flavor, but Legend Larry sauce can really pair that heat and that flavor nicely. This question is from my good friend Scott, who, funny side story, Scott has been like messaging me every day where I was at, how close I was getting to 50,000 followers. So fun that your question made it, Scott. It's a good question. So Scott says, what was your favorite thing about where you grew up, and what do you miss most about your hometown? Favorite thing about growing up, I grew up in Menominee, Wisconsin, which is on the other side of the state, over by Eau Claire, UW Stout. My favorite thing about growing up there really was like, I don't know, just the presence of friends I had. I was a skater hoodlum, so I was always out skateboarding. I'd be skateboarding all day, every day in the summer, and I had a really good group of friends, core group of friends that skateboarded heavily as well. So it was a lot of fun to, I don't know, just have that close knit community of people who, without skateboarding, maybe we wouldn't be friends, and I'm still friends with a lot of them, even though none of us really skate as much anymore. I know I'll cruise around a little bit, but I'm getting a little old for actually skating. It was a lot of fun. Scott had like a skate park at his house that his parents bought from the roller rink, so I remember mini birthday parties and mini like sleepovers there. Scott and I would go skateboarding. and spending a lot of time at like the skate park in Menominee with friends. Really, I think that's my fondest memories of kind of growing up where I grew up and the people I grew up with. And to this day, I don't miss much about Menominee outside of the skate park. I think if I still lived in Menominee, I'd still be skateboarding a lot heavier because I enjoyed that skate park so much, and I just knew everyone there, and anytime I went there, it felt like, you know, you just see old friends and you kind of catch up, and it's a really good time. And I miss that, but that's part of getting older. I hate this sauce. And it's so thick, it's hard to get out. I don't try to put too much on here. This is definitely more on here than I probably should. So this is gonna be fun. If you could keep one Packer item / memorabilia item, what would it be? And that's from Jackie. Oh. Oof. Just right away, it hits you right in the back of the mouth. Spreads on your tongue. You feel it going down your throat. That's what she said. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember what the question was. I hate the bomb. If I could keep one Packer item or memorabilia item, what would it be? I have a lot of Packers items that I really cherish and that it would be hard to ever replace. Oh my God. I know water, you're not supposed to have water, but I got chocolate milk upstairs. I forgot to bring it down. I got like a Desmond Bishop game used jersey from his first career start, which is really awesome. Hard to replace if anything were to ever happen. I have a Vince Lombardi handwritten play, which isn't as hard to replace, but I would still miss it. But oh my God. There's a lot of bomb on that one too. Ooh. I would have to choose a quilt my grandma made me. Oh my God. A quilt. It says, "I love my Green Bay Packers." How's the next one gonna get hotter? It says, "I love my Green Bay Packers." My grandma made it for me like a decade ago. She passed away 4 or 5 years ago. So I think I'd have to choose that one as the item I keep because it's the most special to me. So I have no more water. And I can't go get more because my son just got home. And I can't hold him right now. And I gotta finish this. So poor planning on my part. So for this one, we actually have a question from my friend Russell Nicolay. Oh my gosh, at Nicolay Law. And he actually sent in a video of it.
Hey Ben, Russell Nicolay here. Living on the border in Hudson, Wisconsin, I know how wild the Packer-Vikings rivalries get. I heard that your dad and brother are big Viking fans. I'm guessing that's led to some memorable Viking-Packer games. Maybe you can tell me, what's your most memorable or favorite Packer-Viking memory?
Thank you for that question, Russell. I am still recovering from the bomb, but we're moving forward. Wings are just getting harder to eat. I don't even remember what the question is. I think it was something about rivalries with my Vikings, Packers, my brothers. I'm struggling here to remember. Sorry. Yeah, so growing up, brother and dad, big Vikings fans. Every weekend they played was like a big rivalry game in our household. My brother and I would bet things a lot when we were younger. I remember like the 98 season, I had to wear Vikings snow pants to school because he won the bet and the Vikings beat the Packers. I remember when the Packers won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 31, he cried because he was so mad that they won. Holy hell. My dad, oh my gosh, I'm all over the place here. My dad, as kids, when the Packers and Vikings would play each other, He would make these special nachos. It would be a big thing, and he wouldn't tell us what was in them until we graduated high school. He would like make them early in the morning, have them going. He would take all the ingredients out of the house, and he would throw them in the garbage can so we couldn't see what was in them. And that was like made it an even more special thing. But as far as like my favorite game, thinking back on it, has to be like the He Did What with Antonio Freeman. You know, November 6th, I think, 2000. I'm so sorry you have to listen to the rattle of my ice. That's all I got going for me right now. My nose is burning, probably because I wiped my nose with a cloth that I've been wiping my hands. Antonio Freeman, November 6th, 2000. Terrible conditions, game goes into overtime. Oh, it's really kicking up now. Brett Favre heaves that up. Defender, you know, goes for the interception, completely whiffs on it, bounces off Freeman's leg right into Freeman's hands. Overtime game, done. Oh, yeah, that has to be it. But a lot of fun memories, you know, as I got a little older. Like the 2009 season where Favre went to the Vikings was really bad. I was still living over in Menominee, and there's a lot of, you know, the border battle's crazy over there, so there's a lot of like rivalry with it. And it was a really frustrating season because the Vikings did so well, but it ended up going really well at the end when they screwed it up. So, oh man, yeah, that has to be it. Great question, thank you, Russell, appreciate it. This ice is the only thing keeping me alive right now. All right. And a dab, even though I went really heavy on this one already. Oh God. Looks like a smaller wing though, so I got that going for me. Someone, Bobby, my friend Bobby, asked if you could have a career with the Packers organization, what would your dream job be? Oh. Fun fact about Bobby is he was my like first friend I had when I moved to Menominee, because I moved there when I was like 3rd grade, and I went to his house and spent the night one night. And his parents are amazing people. They follow my page. They might be watching this. Hi, Lori. Hope you're doing well. Went to Lori Mike's house. See my friend Bobby. Being at his house when the Packer game was on set the bar for like what a Packer fan was to me at that age. Because their house, I felt like, was rumbling from them yelling, and it was such a cool experience because, you know, well, we'd cheer at our house, but it was never like they were like, holy cow, the whole house might fall in on itself cheering. It was really fun. But back to the question, I'm not sure I have a dream job with the Packers organization. To be honest with you, I feel like a lot of the prominent roles, like general manager or president, are heavily criticized, and it's a very short memory when you do good things, and there's always going to be people that hate you. So maybe like a tour guide when I'm older. Maybe I can just do a tour, give histories, and enjoy that. I think I would enjoy like the general manager aspect of it, but I just don't want to deal with like the people and how they would be, because I think that would be a little difficult. Really good question though, Bobby. I appreciate that. That was fun. Fun to go down memory lane for sure. So I have all the sauces done. And you might be wondering, I have one wing left. What's going on here? So for the final, oh my gosh. For the final wing, I just mixed all the sauces together. I'm not gonna dab it because I'm not gonna go through and dab all 10 sauces. Whew. Before I read the question and I eat the wing, I just wanna say, you know, if you're watching this, thank you for watching it. Thank you for following the page. I certainly didn't think we'd ever get to 50,000 followers. I didn't think 5,000 followers was a chance. So really cool. Thank you so much. Carissa, my coworker Carissa, she asks, what's your favorite memory of a Packers game? Which is a great question. Not excited about this. I'm gonna try to keep this brief so I can get some water because my mouth is on fire. Favorite memory, I'm gonna do in-person memories. Ooh. First game my now wife and I went to was the 2016 playoff game against the Giants. The Hail Mary to Randall Cobb ended up winning the game. It was a really special game. Not only because they won and it was kind of memorable with the Hail Mary, but because it was my wife and I's first game. Got to go Christmas of 2011, watch the game. That one was memorable because I got to sit with Desmond Bishop's wife, and we went, after the game I got to go down in the players lounge with her, and got to hang out down there and meet a lot of players and people. I have no water, no ice, and I got cleats from Desmond, not for that game, but from earlier in the year. Probably favorite game I've been to was the final home game of the 2010 regular season, Packers-Bears, winning your into the playoffs. It was a very electric game. Crowd was really into it. And then the Nick Collins interception sealed the game, and the crowd went electric, and the whole place was like electric. Everyone was high-fiving, go Pack goes, and now seeing how that season ended and how it continued on, and they ran the table in the postseason to win, made that a really special moment. I went to, I think, 7 games that year, and that was a nice way to cap it off. So, Chris, I thank you for the question. That was really good. Thank you once again for following along. 50,000 followers. I don't know if we ever hit 100,000. I don't know what I'm gonna do to top this, because this sucks. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go get some chocolate milk now because my mouth is blazing. So, thank you. Excited for the season. Appreciate you all. Thank you again. Go Pack, go. See you in better ways, better terms. Yeah, go Pack, go.